What if I told you that the concept of financial responsibility is a moving target that has been redesigned every decade to ensure you never actually reach the finish line? Most of you are following a map that was drawn for a world that no longer exists. Your parents told you a house was an asset, the internet told you a side hustle was freedom. Your peers told you that experiences are the new wealth. Everyone is giving you rules, but nobody is running the real math. Today, we are going to look at the three most dangerous financial eras in human history. We are going to follow four people, Robert, Karen, Marcus, and Zoe, through their entire financial lives. We are going to calculate the $500,000 house mistake, the $400,000 vibe tax, and the $188,000 tax bomb hidden in your retirement account. This isn't about budgeting for lattes or skipping vacations. This is about the architecture of wealth. This is about why Ken from Gen X is sitting on $320,000 while Maya is struggling with $42,000 on the exact same salary. By the end of this breakdown, you will see the invisible machine that keeps you in the flat years of compounding forever, and I will show you the exact year, the crossover point, where your money finally starts working harder than you do. If you are tired of vibes and ready for the spreadsheets that the banks don't want you to see, hit the subscribe button. We are about to dismantle everything you've been taught about money. Welcome to the real math. Let's start with the most visible trap ever created, the Gen Z aesthetic. Meet Zoe, she's 24. She knows what an S&P 500 index fund is. She has an automatic $50 monthly investment. On paper, she's doing it right. But here is the performance trap. Zoe is spending $200 a month to maintain a lifestyle aesthetic that communicates success to people on the internet. The real math, Zoe thinks the $50 she invests is her future. But the $200 she spends on the vibe is what is actually deciding her fate. If Zoe redirected that $200 into her index fund, making it $250 a month, look at what happens over 30 years at a 10% return. $50 Mo becomes $98,000. $250 Mo becomes $493,000. Zoe is paying a $395,000 vibe tax for the privilege of looking rich before she is rich. She is trading a $500,000 retirement for a decade of likes. This is the arrival signal crisis. Every generation has one. For Zoe, it's digital. For the person watching this, it might be the car in your driveway or the zip code you chose just to fit in. I've placed the aesthetic tax calculator in the Wealth Logic Vault. You can plug in your vibe spending and see exactly how many years it's adding to your working life. Link below. Now let's talk to Marcus. He's 38. Marcus was told that older generations were boring because they bought stuff. He was told that experiences are the real wealth. So Marcus spent his 20s and 30s traveling, brunching, and building memories. He has a full passport and an empty brokerage account. He's debt-free, but he has zero assets. The hidden math of mobility, the culture told Marcus that renting is throwing money away. But in 2026, safety is liquidity, not brick and mortar. If Marcus rents for $1,400 and stays mobile, he can move to a new city for a 20% raise. In a house over 30 years, his $80,000 down payment grows to maybe $250,000. In the market at 10%, that $80,000 compounds to $1.4 million. Marcus is about to make a $1.1 million opportunity cost mistake because he is following a rule from 1980 that says a house is your best investment. For Marcus, it's a financial prison. Why is Ken, who earns the same as Maya, so much wealthier? Ken is 52. He grew up watching pensions disappear and veterans get laid off on random Tuesdays. Ken doesn't trust the system, and that defensive pessimism is his superpower. Move 1, the bulletproof buffer. Ken keeps 8 months of expenses in cash. When a $4,000 medical bill hits, Ken writes a check. Maya puts it on a card at 24%. The compound cost for Maya, $45,000 in lost wealth over 15 years. Move 2, the lifestyle ceiling. Every time Ken gets a $5,000 raise, he splits it. Maya upgrades her apartment and gym, banking nothing. Over 15 years, that one habit built Ken an extra $150,000. Move 3, the boring side hustle. Ken doesn't have a YouTube channel. He does boring consulting for 5 hours a week. He makes $800 a month and invests it all. In 15 years, that boring move became $270,000. Ken isn't smarter, he just realized that the gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only number that matters. He fell in love with the gap, not the upgrade. This is the part that everyone skips because it's not inspiring. Meet Lisa. She's 28, investing $500 a month into an index fund. She's been doing it for 5 years. She checks her balance. She has put in $30,000. Her gains are only $6,700. She feels like a failure. She sees influencers posting about compounding and thinks she's doing it wrong. She isn't. She is just in the flat years. For the first 10 years, you are the engine. Your contributions do all the work. The compounding is just a passenger. But watch what happens at year 10. Lisa's portfolio hits $91,000. That year, the market adds $6,700 and she adds $6,000. This is the crossover point. For the first time, her money outturned her. By year 25, she adds $6,000 and the market adds $36,000. She is no longer the engine. She's barely the steering wheel. The biggest mistake Zoe and Marcus make is quitting at year 3 because the math isn't working. They dig up the seeds to see if they've grown and they reset the compounding clock to 0. If you are in the flat years right now, comment, "I am laying the pavement." Because you are building a runway and the plane doesn't take off at the start of the runway, it takes off at the end. Let's dismantle the advice that is actually a behavioral tax. The 401k tax bomb. Jake maxes his 401k. He feels like a hero because of the tax break, but Jake doesn't realize he is a paper millionaire. At age 73, the IRS will force him to take distributions. If he withdraws $60,000 a year, he might pay $188,000 in federal taxes over his retirement. Marcus uses a Roth IRA. He pays the tax now. He withdraws $60,000 tax-free. He keeps every penny. The number on your statement isn't your number, part of it belongs to the government. The 15-year mortgage behavioral tax. Your parents told you to get a 15-year mortgage to save on interest. Real math. Mia takes a 30-year mortgage and invests the $678 difference every month in the market. The 15-year borrower has a house and $680K. Mia has the house and $1.29 million. Mia is $610,000 richer than the disciplined borrower. The 15-year mortgage isn't a strategy, it's what you do when you don't trust yourself to automate your investments. Why does the bank want you to have a savings account? Why does the dealer want you to lease the car? The car dealership lie? Derek negotiated his car to $50 above invoice. He thinks he won. But the dealership made $3,000 in the finance room through rate markups, 400% insurance margins, and doc fees. The bank's high-yield mirage. Jordan moved his money to a 4.5% high-yield savings account. His bank took his money, bought T-bills at 3.6% or lent it at 21%. The bank is renting your money for pennies and selling it for dollars. The spread is the entire game. The rich obsess over the cost of money because every point they knock off, the cost goes straight into their pocket. You have been living in an economy designed to make you a consumer of your own paycheck. Robert spent his life maintaining a signal and underfunding the substance. Karen spent her raises on a lifestyle that expanded as fast as her income. Zoe is spending $200 to look like she's already arrived. Don't be them. The architecture of wealth is simple, but it's not easy. Capture the match. It's a 100% instant return, nothing beats it. Build the infrastructure, 6 months of cash so life never resets your compounding clock. Automate the gap, set up your investments to leave your account before you ever see them. Discipline is for people who haven't built systems. Assets first, aesthetic second. Don't buy the costume of success until your assets can pay for the costume. Wealth isn't a number on a screen or a key in a lock. Wealth is optionality. It's the ability to walk away from a job you hate because you have an orchard that produces fruit while you sleep. Stop staring at the arrival signals of others. Start laying your own pavement. If this 30-minute deep dive changed how you see your bank account, share it with someone who is currently chasing an aesthetic. Join the Wealth Logicians community and let's run the math together. I'll see you at the crossover point.